Hey racers, John Racer through you today, back for another Hot Wheels tournament, and today is gonna be a good one. As you can see, we have 50 cars laid out in front of you, ready to race down this iteration of the King of the Hill. Now it's gonna be a one-lane track down to the Fat Track Oval. This has been one of my favorite tracks I've made to date, and it is super cool and produces some really good racing. So as you can see, there are two fat track corners, and cars can sometimes even go around this corner again if they get a good enough run. So we're gonna see if the King of the Hill today will be able to make that happen. Now, if you guys have not seen my King of the Hill matches before, here are the rules. So we've got 50 cars laid out here. We have a bunch to unbox. We have 50 of loose cars ready to take on the track, and we actually have 5 NASCAR diecast because I thought it was fitting for the Fat Track Oval track to see if they can become one of the Kings of the Hill. But here's the way it's going to work. It's going to be one car at a time, and the farthest car will be the victor at the end of the tournament. So it's pretty simple. There are a bunch of cars. If a car gets derailed, we'll run them again, but I don't think that'll happen because this track is very sturdy, and it's the car that gets the farthest on that Fat Track Oval that will be the victor. So that's all the rules. I think we might as well just open these cars and get started. And just like that, a bunch of new cars have been unboxed, and some beautiful ones too. As you can see, we have the Lamborghini Scion, the McLaren Elva, and a bunch of other hypercars about to take on the track. But I think we should kick off this tournament with the cars this track was made for, which are the NASCAR cars, starting with the number 4 of Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick spins, but it's going to be a pretty solid first run. This is going to be the car to beat for now. Next up, we have the number 3 of Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon not carrying as much speed as Kevin Harvick. He's not going to make it there. The 4 car is still up front. Next up, we got the 48 of Alex Bowman. Bowman is blazing fast. He's going to get loose though, and he's not going to pass the 4, just barely. Kevin Harvick still takes it. Next up from NASCAR, we have the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, pretty quick, is going to pass Kevin Harvick, and he's going to be the new king. The 4 had a good run, but now the 12 is in the lead. And now for the last NASCAR car to take on the track, we have the 99. Does the 99 have the speed? It doesn't look like it. Not even getting around the second corner. The 12 reigns supreme after all the NASCARs. But now we've got the Hot Wheels, which tend to be much faster than NASCAR anyway. First up, we have the Batista. The Batista spins around, and look at that dominance. The 12 gets beat, and the Batista is winning. Next up, we got the Porsche 918 Spyder. Sorry, not the Spyder version actually, but it's not going to matter as he doesn't get around the turns as fast as he should. Not good enough from the Porsche. Next up, we have the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Oh, and the Valkyrie's gonna crash. We're gonna re-race that. Let's try that one again. Does the Valkyrie have the speed it takes? It does not look like it. The Batista still holds on. Next up, for the first time on the track, we have the Lamborghini Scion. Oh, that Scion just sounds fast, but he's gonna spin and lose it. Unfortunate for the Lamborghini. But I can tell just by the sound the car made down the track, this car has some serious potential in future tournaments. Next up, another new casting, the McLaren Elva. The Elva has so much speed. Look at that, he's gonna get around the corner again. By far the fastest car we've seen so far as he gets around the corner twice, beating out the Batista. Next up, we have a Nissan Z Proto. Oh, the Nissan with a huge spin move. Doesn't look like he's going to carry enough speed to beat the McLaren. Next is a Ford GT40 Mark IV. That Gulf livery just looks absolutely fantastic on this car, but he's not going to make it around that corner. That is unfortunate. Next up, we got a yellow Honda Civic. Ooh, the Honda Civic showing some good speed. It gets around the corner, and he's going to pass the Elva easily. Wow, a dominant run for the Civic, beating out the Elva, which I thought after the Elva's run couldn't be beat. I guess I was wrong. Next up, we've got a Lotus concept car. The Lotus concept will spin out, not looking good if he wants to beat that Civic. Next up is the Mitsubishi Double Shots, a Mitsubishi concept car. The car doesn't sound very fast, and look at that, not even gonna carry the speed to get to the second corner. Unfortunate for the Mitsubishi. Next up from Matchbox, we have the 2022 Renault Megane. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The Renault is gonna slide, spinning out on the backstretch, and not even gonna, wow, the Civic laps him. Wow. Next up, we have a Volkswagen Scirocco GT24. This car's a Zamac. Will that help him around the corners? It does not look like it. He does not beat the Civic. Next up, we have a second Ford GT40 Mark IV, this time with the white Golf livery. The white Golf livery doesn't do him any good. He spins out on the second corner, not making it to the Civic. Next up, we have the Hot Wheels KITT concept, and I have a feeling this car is not going to do very good. Look at that. You can just hear the splitter hitting the track. Very unfortunate. He's going to finish backwards and behind the Civic by like a lap, which is unfortunate. Next up, we have a Falcon livery Mazda RX-7. Ooh, the RX-7, it has a chance. Can it carry the speed around the corner again? It does not look like he's going to get there. Unfortunate for the Mazda. Next up, a car that I've been wanting on the channel for a long time. We've got the Tesla Cybertruck. The Cybertruck doesn't look like he actually fits on the track. He's going to get derailed, and that's the best we're going to see out of the Cybertruck. Unfortunate. Next up, we got a Jaguar F-Type Project 7. The F-Type doesn't look like he can carry that much speed. He's going to get to the second corner. Man, the Civic is unstoppable. Next up is a beautiful looking Porsche 935. The 935 is going to wreck on the second corner. Unfortunate performance for the Porsche. The Civic is just too intimidating. Next up is the 1998 Honda Prelude, which is a fast looking car. Wow, the Prelude has some speed. He gets around the corner. Can he pass the Civic? It doesn't look like it. Really close for the Prelude, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to beat his JDM friend. Wow, close, but not close enough. Next up, we got a Honda CRX. The CRX is bouncing back and forth on the track. That's going to ruin his speed and not pass the Honda Civic. Unfortunate. Next up is the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. This could be a fast car. Oh, the Taycan's gonna spin out on the backstretch. That ruined all of his speed. I think if he didn't do that, he would have been able to pass the Civic, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen today. The Porsche fails. Next up is a Corvette C8R. This thing could be pretty quick. Oh, the C8R is also gonna spin out and lose all of his speed after the first corner, not holding on. Unfortunate performance for the Corvette. Next up is the McLaren P1. Now if the P1 doesn't beat the Civic will be halfway to beating the record of the most cars defeated. I accidentally let the McLaren go, but we can go check out how he did here. Yeah, like I thought, the McLaren not performing the best. Not going to be able to beat the Civic, but now the Civic has beaten 15 cars. If he beats over 30 cars, he's going to dethrone the McLaren F1 for the most cars dethroned in a single King of the Hill. But we're going to disregard the Nissan GT-R last video. That one doesn't really count. Next up, we have a police Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer carrying more speed than I would expect from a police car from Matchbox, but man, not a bad performance whatsoever. Not good enough though. Next up, we have a Honda N600. You can just tell that, oh yeah, nope, there's the wipeout. The Honda does not have what it takes to beat the Honda Civic. Honda versus Honda, Honda loses. Next up is the Aston Martin DBR1. I think this car might stand a chance. If the Aston Martin can carry his speed around the corners, which it doesn't look like he will, he's going to spin out on the backstretch across the Civic. Not looking good for Aston Martin. Next up on the track, we have a Mercedes-Benz A-Class. The A-Class, it looks like it carries its speed well, but then it rubs up against the wall and loses all its momentum. I don't know if the Civic can be beat. Okay, I take back what I said. We have the Bugatti EB110, which a color variation of this car has already moved on to the King of the Hill Championship. Can the yellow variation do it? We know this casting's fast. He's carrying the speed. He gets around the corner on the outside, and he will! He gets to the 4th corner. That Bugatti is blazing fast. He beats out the Civic and is going to be the king so far. The amount of performance it's going to take to beat that is unbelievable. I did not think the Civic was actually going to be able to lose that matchup, but I guess I was wrong. Next up, we have a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. The Mitsubishi is going to spin out, lapped by the Bugatti. Next up, we've got the 2020 Koenigsegg Jesko. Oh, the Jesko carrying a lot more speed than I thought, but he's not going to make it around the corner. Unfortunate performance, but hey, Koenigsegg tried. Bugatti's just too fast. Next up, we've got an F1 car. The F1 car carrying like barely any speed around the ovals, but I guess ovals aren't really its forte. The F1 car did worse than the NASCAR. Let's let that sink in for a second. Okay, on to the next race. Next up, we have a beautiful looking Datsun 510 wagon. Oh, the wagon, it sounded like it had the speed to beat the Bugatti, but he's gonna wipe out, lose all his speed, and not even make it to the corner again. Unfortunate. Next up, we have a Honda NSX-R. The NSX spins around and he's gonna get off the track on the 2nd corner. Not enough to beat the Bugatti. Next up, the Koenigsegg Gamera sees if you can take down the Bugatti. The Gamera, just not that fast of a casting, goes up to the outside to try and get onto the corner. Not going to have the speed to do it, and the Bugatti's going to hold on to his crown. In my opinion, there are a few cars left that might stand a chance, one of them being this, the Speed Machine's Ferrari FXX. If he can just hold on to his speed, which he doesn't look like he's going to do, he's going to spin on the front stretch. Unfortunate for the FXX. Next up is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63. This Matchbox casting is faster than most, but he's not going to have the speed to beat the Bugatti. I firmly believe this car stands a chance. The BMW M4 has made it to finals a lot on single lane races. Let's see how he can do on the oval. And he's gonna spin on the oval, messing up his chances and not beating the Bugatti, unfortunately. Next up from Audi, we have the Audi RS e-tron GT. The e-tron's gonna wipe out on the back stretch. Unfortunate, ends off on the front stretch, not faster than the Bugatti. Next up, we have a Liberty Works wide-body Lamborghini Huracan. Try saying that 5 times fast. And look at that, you can just hear how low the car is going down the track. Unfortunate, but still a pretty solid performance for a wide-body car. Next up is the beautiful, absolutely stunning Matchbox opening parts Lamborghini Centenario. The Centenario sounds gnarly, but he's going to come off the track. That is not going to work to beat the Bugatti. Next up, with 5 cars left, we have the pink Austin Mini Cooper. Will the Mini Cooper surprise us? No, it does not look like it. He flips over on his 2nd turn. Unfortunate for the Mini Cooper. But maybe we'll see him again. Next up, my favorite Hot Wheels casting, the Ford Fiesta. Wow, the Fiesta really disappoints on the oval. One of the worst performances we've seen. Wow. Next up, we have a Volkswagen Brasilia that might stand a chance. The Brasilia loses it off the 1st corner, isn't able to keep it straight, and because of that, he's not beating the Bugatti. Second to last, we have a Nissan Silvia wide body kit. The Silvia with the speed, but he's not going to make it to the corner. Unfortunate. That was one of the last attempts to take down the Bugatti. 1 car remains. And that last car is the battle-ready KITT concept. Let's see if he can dethrone the Bugatti. It's happened before. Let's see if it happens again. The KITT puts up a valiant fight, but it's not going to be enough to dethrone your victor and crown bearer today. the yellow Bugatti EB110. And for the first time in John Racer 3 history, this is the second Bugatti to make it to a grand finals of a tournament matchup, which has never happened before. This casting is absolutely unbelievable. It's very surprising that it manages to win every single tournament it's in, and I guess that just means look out for these castings in future tournaments because they are fast. Now that's going to wrap up this King of the Hill battle, and it's also going to wrap up the regular season of the King of the Hills. I know, last video I said there would be more for champions for the future videos, but the next King of the Hill video you see this year will be the championship because this year is running out of time. As you can see, we have the Gasser, we have 2 Bugatti EB110s, a RLC Nissan Skyline, which was absolutely dominant. It's not going to win against the Bugattis, but it's still very dominant. And then the victor of the car that's moving on for dethroning the most cars as a king, which is the McLaren F1 with 30 cars. Now, these cars are all going to battle it out in a finale matchup in the finale of the King of the Hill. So hope you guys are excited for that. And just like that, this video is over. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.